down by the ditch where the willows lean.
What's up, everybody?
We packed our shovels and a coffee tin clean.
We're not too far from the clay layer that I
52
was
out
last out with the
on
family
a faded
adventure.
old map.
We're just right around the bend right here, right around the corner. I'm gonna turn this around here in a little bit. We're gonna do some prospecting around, do some panning. I brought a sluice. We got some good running water. We just had a good major snowstorm, a lot of rain. The waters didn't go so high. They're dropped a little bit now, but I think we're doing pretty good. We should be able to get in there today. We'll find some gold. Got the Gold Putt shirt on today. I like to wear everybody's channel shirts and stuff that I can possibly can. You know, I'm in the process of purchasing more channel shirts and stuff from other creators and things like that. But today, guys, I'm gonna turn these around right now and we're gonna find some gold. Okay, here we are. On the last week's video, we were on the other side of that bridge right there, right around that sharp bend, and we're on the clay layer and we're looking for some good gold. But today I came around onto the other side, a little more west. We're going upstream right here, so you can see the water right here. It's a sharp turn and it's coming again this way. And then I'm standing on a very small gravel bar. Actually, it's not too big, really small, but it is the bottom. I mean, it is the I guess almost like the inside bend. It's a small one, not too big, but let's take a look. So you can see it turns right over there sharp. I haven't took a look over there that way yet to see what maybe if there's gravels or if it just gets too deep. It looks like way over there on the other side, it looks like it slows down, so that's definitely a drop zone, and it really probably gets deep right there. I can see right here, right on the turn, we got a bunch of branches and a bunch of trees and stuff that just kind of stopped and just stayed right there as the water levels dropped. But we also got a bunch of gravels and stuff built up in there, you can see. So I think I'm gonna drop a pan in there. We'll test pan and we'll start right there, and we'll look around to see if we can find ourselves a really good test pan, find a spot for the sluice. I'm thinking maybe right here. Doesn't look like it might be running too hard, you know, I don't know. It looks a little deep. But check this out, you guys. We got two big slabs of concrete. These are not boulders. I can see it's concrete, and these are big slabs, and they're stopped right here. And we got a backflow right here. The water was going over this. Sorry about the planes, guys. I'm not too far from an airport. There's gonna be planes all day coming in and out, but you can see that water was coming over here just a couple days ago, and it was probably just like a wave right over that. So there was definitely material probably going and turning the stuff underneath that. But now you can see we got a backflow. You can see that water coming over right there, and it's just kind of turning back, and we got like it's like a whirlpool right there. So I'm thinking that could be a good spot to test, maybe underneath up in there somewhere. This really looks like a good spot. I've been wanting to come over to this side and kind of test it and see what we got. Take a look in here. Look, that's like a cave or something in there. Pretty awesome, these guys. But when I was coming in here, right up in that way right there, there's a sign right there that says coyotes. Coyotes in the area. They're in here. You can see I'm deep in the bush, but I'm still in an urban local area. It's still nature out here, you guys. So I've got to keep an eye out for coyotes. They're out right now, but we should be good. We should have some fun. We should find some gold. I'm even thinking maybe that hole up in there, that could be a coyote's den or whatever you call them. They could be right in there too. It'd be pretty sweet. All right, guys. Let me get on my waders. I got the chest waders today. Let me get them on. And then we'll get up in there, and that's where we'll start. All right. Let's go on ahead and grab the pan. Grab that little shovel we got right here. There's the sluice. Let's take a walk up in here. That's where we're gonna start. Oh yeah, check that out, just guys. I'm gonna go up over there too also here in a little bit. There's a nice little gravel bar up in there. Looks like there's some really big cobbles also built up down that way. Let's see here. Check it out, see if I can get in there. Check that out, guys. You can see right up that way, there's a bunch of cobbles and stuff. And that is right on a different turn. This is a really sharp turn. I'm on the end of the turn right here. Let's see. Let's get zoomed out normal here. Over there is a turn. That's the beginning of this big old sharp turn. That's where all them bigger gravels and stuff are built up. And then we got this huge gravel bar right here where all this brush and stuff and everything's grown. We can't dig in there. We can't touch nothing in that. That's perfectly fine. I'm thinking the gold's in the water. So right here, I'm at the end of this turn. And it's turning right here, and it goes a little bit straight real quick and then takes another sharp turn. That's where we were at last week. This is where we're at now. Here's the gravels and stuff right here. Pretty big. All right here. I'm standing right on top of where it's the very top of this pile of gravels and, you know, cobbles and stuff right there. I was standing right there. So I'm gonna punch down right there, remove some of the overburden, all them bigger cobbles, put some dirt in the pan, and then we'll see if there's gold, just guys. All right, here we go. Let's get to it. A lot of big cobbles right here. That's a good sign. All right, you guys. Okay, let's go take a look. That was some hard digging again. There seems to be some hard digging right here on this part of the creek. So that's, you know, definitely nobody's ever touched it before, which is, that's a good thing. But letting that hole clear out a little bit, just guys, check that out. Take a look inside. I noticed, you can see there's a top layer right here right at the top. It's all rusty. Everything's rusty on top until I was able to dig down and punch into the dirt, into the creek bed right there. There's the material. So let's go on ahead and find a spot. We can pan this out and hopefully there's some gold in it. This will tell me if there's gold right here in this area. So all right, let's get to it, you guys. I think I can pan it out right here. There's not much material in there, but I think it's enough to see if there's any gold in it or not, at least a speck or two. The thing I like about having these waders is, guys, I can get all the way in the water, get comfortable, pan, easier on the back, especially on a nice day today. It's gonna be about 80. The water's still nice and cool. It's not quite warm yet. It's awesome. Nothing in that one. there was nothing in that pan. Doesn't mean there's gold here. So that was only the first test pan. Go on ahead and toss these bigger ones I pulled out right back in there. All right, there we go. So I think I want to take a walk up there. We'll go on ahead and leave all that there. Let's get up there, we'll pan around, see what we got. Water's getting pretty deep right here. I'm about to my knees already. Gets even deeper down in there. There's a big boulder right down in there. Huh, looks like that's even bedrock down in there. It could be bedrock. All right, just about there. This could be a spot right here, you guys, where the gold's gonna be at. I think there's some good spots right here to even set up the sluice. I'm gonna go grab my bucket, my backpack. I'm gonna come back right here. This is actually where the gold is gonna be at, because this is the beginning of the turn. Gold is gonna drop off first. It's the heaviest. I was just panning over there at the end, so more than likely there's very little bit over there. This could actually be it right here. I mean, take a look at this, you guys. Look at this wall next to me. You can see there's layers in that wall. That's the outside band. This is the outside of the creek right there. But we got layers, guys. Layers of hundreds of years of deposits, floods. The earth just changing. It's absolutely amazing, you guys. Check that out. All right, right over there, I got my bucket. I got my stuff over here now. So I'm looking around, guys. I'm right in the middle of it's like a split. This is the gravel bar I'm on. And it's absolutely, I mean, it's pretty big, you guys. So what I'm trying to do right now is just sit here and imagine when the water's up above higher, what it's doing, where the main flow is going to be at, and where the slower flow is going to be at. And with doing that, that's, you know, with the slower running water, that's typically where I start to dig at first, you know, and that's just imagining on the high level of water. So it changes now that it's lower. It's going to be different, but it's a lot more easier to look at because there's a lot more exposure. So this being you can see what I'm seeing right here is the turn. There's a pretty hard flow right here, and it's like a cut. And right along the bank, there's a lot of big cobbles in there. So right where my bucket's at right there, take a look. You can see it goes a little bit further back. That's kind of where the water, I think, is like chewing out right there. So if there's gold in that bank and there's, you know, deposits right there of gold, this is where it's gonna drop out at. So I'm thinking we'll test pan right up in there first. And then we'll go from there. I'm just taking a look around, these guys. There's a lot of areas, but what I've also noticed on this creek is that there's gold in the inside band. But like I said on the last video on the family adventure, I'm finding the gold right here on the outside. So we're gonna test around in there also. The gold could be in there. There's rusty layer deposits. in the wall over there. Pretty high up. I may not even be able to reach that, so, all we could do is just test, right? Keep on testing, keep on digging. We'll get on it, and then we'll drop the sluice. So here's where I'm thinking I'm gonna dig first. Right up in here somewhere, there's this nice little grass patch, this little root. You can see the water, how it's splitting above, splitting across right here. So material's dropping off in here somewhere. This is like a drop zone, and we'll try this out. But as I'm looking right here, we can get a better view right along right here. It's like its own little creek in a sense. I'm standing on it. Yes, this is one big whole creek, but with this being like a little side cut, there's like a little bank right here, and you can see there's a lot of gray clay. Let me see if I can pull some of this up. There's a lot of this stuff. I mean, it's that gray clay, like shale stuff that I'm always finding on this creek. And it's all over right here, right along this cut, right along all the way. I seen it pretty much all the way right there, coming along. So that'll be a good spot to also test. But we'll try on the outside of this little cut thing right here, and then we'll move on over. Let's see if I can get a sit down. All right, let's get to it. Gotta go over here real quick, grab my pan, the shovel. I'll be right back, you guys. All right. Let's try right here. Looking for a spot I can pound this out at. Water's moving pretty fast everywhere right here. Whoa. I'll be really careful in the creeks, these guys. There's the material. There's a lot of that clay stuff. You can see all them little gray chips. And it's rusty looking. I dug right there. It's like digging behind the boulder. It's the same concept. So that's where I chose to dig first. All right, guys, let me find a spot I can pound this. Might walk up there just a little bit. I'll bring you guys right back. All right, let's start right there. All right, again, guys, no gold in that pan. Pretty interesting. We're not giving up. So this time, I'm gonna move to the outside of the band. I found gold on the outside before. Let's try that. Okay, here we go. We're on the other side, right where the pan's at. I just dropped the pan right and walked to the other side. And I just randomly picked a spot. I'm gonna drop the shovel down right there. We'll see if we can find anything, you guys. Let's not give up. We'll be on it. We'll find the gold. But it's still a lot of fun. Nice day out here. A lot of fun out here, guys. Gotta love it. All right, guys, let's check out this pan. Hopefully there's something in there. Let's go take a look at that material. The hole right there. As I was digging next to these nice little pretty flowers right there. So I stopped. I don't want to disturb them. I mean, it probably really wouldn't matter because we still have our spring floods still yet to hit, but they're everywhere. Cool. But there's the material. Looks a little more promising. The sand, the gravels is a little bit more gritty. The pebbles and stuff are a little bit bigger. So let's check it out. Okay, finally, you guys, the third pan, and we're on the gold. It's not a bad sized piece either. Check that out. There's a couple more in there. Little small ones. But we are on the gold. There we go. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's on the outside of the band. This is where I found gold in the past. It's always on the outside of the band here on this creek. I still have yet to find a good, nice little deposit on the insides. But hey, we found it. We're on it. We're gonna drop the sluice in here, find a good area, fill up the bucket. Brought the 1/2-inch classifier today. Doing the 1/4 inch, I mean, it's a lot more shoveling, a lot more digging. My shovel ain't too big. So we're gonna do a 1/2 inch, classify it down, drop the sluice in, run a bucket, probably clean that out, see how that looks. And then we'll go from there, you guys. Still pretty early in the day. We're here, we're having fun. All right. All right, everybody. I got one, well, half bucket full. Again, it was some pretty hard digging. I'm pulling up a lot of big cobbles, but the deeper I got, I started to get a little bit more gravel. I mean, like sand and everything, but it still looked good. We're still gonna run this half bucket, clean it out, see what there is, everybody. Should be good, I hope. All right. Got the sluice right there. Seems to be running pretty good. May need adjustments. Let's get the handful. Throw it in there, see what it looks like. Yeah, seems to be running good right now. We'll still build up a little bit of a dam, get the water flow going a little bit more. It's really all it takes. But overall, guys, we're doing good so far. Let's get the camera set up. That's good for right now. The water's a little bit too high right here in the flare box. I'll stuff rocks underneath the sluice right here because we got water flow that comes underneath. It helps out. Kind of seal up underneath. That's more like it. We should be able to run through this pretty quick here. It's going pretty fast, but not too fast. We're blowing everything out. There we go, you guys. That took not that bad, maybe 15-20 minutes. Let's take a look in the box. Pretty sure I noticed a couple pieces pass by. They will get caught up in this first miner's moss right there. It's always catching the gold first. Nothing noticeable in there. So let's clean it out and we'll see what we got. All right, let's clean out the box. This is the fun part, you guys. We get to clean out the box, see if we're on any gold, see how good it looks. And if it looks good, we're gonna stay right here in this hole and we're gonna continue to dig. I'm thinking, man, usually on the creek I get about 2 to 3 buckets. I want to try to get 4 or 5 today. I'm hoping, still pretty early in the day, so we should be able to knock that out. All right, all cleaned up for that. When I clean these out, you guys, I just kind of shake them up and down, stretch them out, because it has all them weavings and all that stuff, so you want to get everything loose and drop out. Give it a good shake. All right, there we go, all cleaned up. Now we'll put that in the pan. There we go, guys. That's what we're left with right here. Let me just bring you in. We'll get a look. All right. That's the material we're looking at. Yeah, it could be quite a bit. You know, the miner's moss, it holds on to quite a bit. So we'll take our time. We'll get that panned out. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to take you guys off camera. Let's go on ahead and find a really good spot here. Maybe back right there where I was panning already. Seems to be the best area so far. Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's what we got. First of all, I'm panning with the water flow. Don't ever want to do that, you guys. Don't ever pan against the flow. Go with it, and that's better. Just take our time. Strip off the top material. All you want to do is strip it right off. Shaking it down like this is dropping all the gold to the bottom of the pan underneath all the black sand, so keeping it down in there. Sorry about that if we're getting out of the camera here. I'm doing this with one hand today. I do have the tripod, but I can get a better angle like this if I hold it, as long as I stay in the view. I mean, look at how absolutely red that is, if you guys can see that. I mean, this stuff is super duper red. Looks pretty cool when you're actually live in person doing this stuff. part of the reason why I'm hooked so much. I mean, just watching the different colors and all the different stuff that can come out of the earth is absolutely amazing. All right, try to take this down just a little bit more. See if we can get out some of this bigger rocks. Just getting in the way there. All right, let's see here. Maybe one more time. Wash it off. There's a lot of black sand in here, you guys. A lot of garnet sands. We don't want to lose any of it. All right, now I'll put you guys down and we'll see if we can pan this back. Let's see here. All right, guys, try our best here. It's a lot to work with, for sure. Definitely a lot to work with. More water. I dropped some too much water out. There we go, you guys. Half a bucket. Definitely 4 pieces. You can definitely see. Really not too much. I expected a little bit more, but that's still not too bad for half a bucket. There's other small little ones in there. But yeah, there we go. 1/2 a bucket. I dug right up in there. We might try to test pan another spot. I was looking, and you can see there's all these boulders and stuff right here. I might dig up in here, right between this little eddy looking thing right here. So matter of fact, we're gonna grab a pan right there and see what we got right there. All right, guys, there's where I chose to dig. I'm standing right on top of that big, it's actually the big concrete slab. Another one right there. I was thinking right up in here, but when I'm looking, it's actually more concrete slabs just buried underneath. So there's big gravel deposits right here. So it's right between all these rocks, all these big boulders, the water's flowing. I was thinking underneath right here would also be a good idea. But when I'm looking at it, it seems to be all silt, hardly no cobbles. Gets really deep right here. That water could be flowing over this, and that's the reason for all this right here dropping down. Let's test that out, you guys. Hopefully it looks a little bit better than over there. Wasn't what I was expecting over there. So I mean, yeah, it's gold and it's all fun. We're getting gold, yay. So all right, guys, let me get this pan. I'm not gonna shoot this one on camera. I want to just get it dug up, pan it out real quick, and then I'll show you guys what we got. There was no gold in that pan, so I left. Didn't look too great. There was a lot of concrete slabs underneath all that, so it would be good for a yabby pump, but yeah, the shovel ain't getting down in there. So I stayed looking around right there where all them slabs were at, because I mean, it looks really interesting to me, guys. So there we go. I was digging right in there. Nothing in there. I'll go refill that little hole back in. Here we go. Right up in here. All this concrete slab, right? That's the hole again. Underneath all that, guys, there's a lot of concrete slab underneath all this. Not much of a gravel accumulation or sand. But right on the other side of all this, guys, where it's deep, I came right around this bush right here, right around the corner. Check it out right there. There's a lot, it's pretty deep, but there's a lot of gravels again. I got the waders on, so I could step in here. Let's grab a pan right there. All right, there we go. One speck in that pan. Not bad. Actually a pretty good, decent size. There we go. Better close up. That is actually a pretty good, decent piece, guys, but it's only one. I dug right there. So I'm gonna grab one more pan, see what that looks like, and if it accumulated, at least doubled, even if there's 2 or even 3 in that pan, I'll grab a bucket, we'll put the sluice back in, and then we'll check it out from there. I'll show you guys the next pan. All right, guys, that's the second pan. I left the one speck from the other pan, and that's still it. There's nothing else in the other pan, or in the second shovel's full in there. That's still from the first one. So we're gonna go on ahead. I'm gonna do another pan up over there where we ran that first bucket. Do another pan there, see if we're still on a little bit of gold, and then we'll do another bucket from right there. Okay, I did another pan in that first hole we dug from that bucket we ran. I filled it all back in, guys. There was not one speck. I went pretty deep, so don't know what's going on here. Pretty interesting, but I'm gonna take a quick break. Okay, so I went back to where I first came, over here. I dug right there on the first one. There was nothing there. So when I was talking there's this little side. It's almost like the bank, but it's not, because we have the other side of the creek here. But so I dug right down in there, right along this line here, and it's a line of all that grayish clay, really dark, and it's a lot of chips of it. So I punched down right there. Let's take a look at that material. You can see how rusty it looks. It looks really rusty. All that clay, all them little dark chips, that's all the clay. So we're gonna pan that out, see if there's anything in that one. It's always a lot of fun out here, you guys. Even if we get no gold, it's always fun. It's always good to sit out here, learn the creek. It's always good to sit out here and enjoy the water. It's always good to sit out here and just to sit out here, everybody. All right, let's get that panned out. All right, let's go up on over here. Set these guys down right here. All right. There we go. Another look in the pan. We're at a spot where we can pan it. This is where I've been panning all day. Let's get that panned out, and then I'll show you guys what we got. Nothing. Nothing in that one right there either, these guys. Sometimes, man, just sometimes it gets a little bit frustrating, especially when you're out here all day trying to find some gold. I mean, that's the real reason why we're out here, right? I mean, it's a hobby. Yes, it's a lot of fun. I do a lot of explaining about how fun it is just to be out here. And definitely it is that. But sometimes you do want to be out here and find some gold. I mean, I'm getting low on my gold, my gold. I'm starting to really get low, so I really need to start pushing on it. I'm starting to find some more gold here so I could do my monthly giveaways. I could do my subscriber giveaways. Haven't been able to get on that as much and as often as I would like. My gold is just running out, you guys, so I need to get on it. I need to start finding more gold. All right. All right, you guys, I've been walking around. I still been doing some more panning and stuff. I'm not really finding too much gold. It's getting later in the day now. I don't even have a watch, but it's getting later in the day now. So I think I'm gonna head out, go on home. It's Saturday. Tomorrow's my family day adventure. We're gonna start taking hikes every Sunday, me, my wife, and my kids. You know, start getting out. It's nicer outside, so we're gonna start looking for different areas, do some hikes, try to discover more of Colorado stuff, places we haven't seen yet. Should be great. I'm not recording none of that. It's just a family fun days, guys, but I just wanted to let you guys know. So but until then, every Saturday from here on out, guys, this summer is going to be my video. Is going to be when the video comes out. It should be Saturday evenings, Saturday night sometime, so keep a lookout for that. But I need to start really pushing out there, you guys, trying to get myself some more gold so I can give it all away. I don't purchase gold, you know, very often. It's very rare that I purchase a bag, you know, a pay dirt bag of gold. So when I do my giveaways, guys, and all my gold that I've given away, most of it, 90 to 95% of it is stuff that I have found right here that I've dug and, you know, out throughout, you know, all my time doing all this stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. So I really need to start pushing on it, accumulate more so I can start getting these giveaways. So with all that right there being said, just guys, I want to thank you guys for joining me on today's journey. It still was a lot of fun. We did still find a lot of gold. It wasn't a skunk, and there were some pretty good, decent, nice sized pieces also. So drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this area. Should I come back? Should I do some more prospecting around? I'll come back. So drop a comment. Give it a thumbs up right here. It helps out the channel a lot, guys. Do subscribe if you're new and you haven't subscribed yet. All right, guys, on the next one, every Saturday from here on out, keep a lookout.